Hi kids, let's have some grown-up talk. So come closer if you want to hear a real shit. Not that close, go on, stand there. So anyway, I know that I talk about spirituality a lot. And for some it may seem like a woo-woo magic, something that doesn't exist in this real life. But in reality, all topics that I cover, I try to be as simplistic and practical and pragmatic as possible. And sometimes you have to tackle a certain issue from different angles. And this time I will be as realistic as possible. The development of this modern world goes at a very fast pace, and the living situation of people gets even more complicated. So it's very hard to figure out, to sift through the bullshits and the real stuff, because you are so distracted by duties that society lays upon you, and you become confused about chasing a real life or a career. Yes, they are separate things. If you're chasing career, you're not going to be able to find a fulfillment in life, because your mind is clouded by all these thoughts about advancement, promotion, money, getting a house, paying bills, buying a car, connecting with other people, and catching that feeling of acceptance from others, being one with the team. So if your mind is stuffed by those concepts, you are not going to be able to find your real self. That's why you hear a lot of people talk about following a purpose, finding a passion, doing things out of love, abundance, because that per se means that you're following your inner voice and you're expressing your deepest desires, wishes, wants, and projecting them into the world. Yours truly have lived that life, although I'm more attuned with my inner voice, and that's why it took only 1.5 years to understand that everything they were serving to me was BS, a hot pile of poop, nonsense, running around like a beheaded chicken, wearing a costume and thinking that you are some kind of a hotshot businessman. In reality, you are just a more sophisticated slave. Don't get me wrong, maybe there are some people who like that lifestyle, but I wouldn't think so. And if they say so, I think they're lying to themselves. Because it's impossible to experience fulfillment by living that kind of lifestyle. The corporations own you even if you think that you have free will. I remember those fake performance reviews. You're sitting with your manager face to face. He's going through your file and grading your different skills on how much you have done this far. And many of that is subjective, of course, because he doesn't sit with you during your job. He gets a lot of feedback from colleagues, from the client that you're interacting with, the level of your participation in different corporate events. Are you investing your free time in order to create even more value for the corporate itself? For free, of course. And what you get, maybe some pat on your back. But if you're like me and hate, despise licking boots, or even worse, licking ass, then you're not going to make it. And it doesn't matter how good you perform, because it's all about politics. You can invest a lot of time by doing the required job, but you are not socializing, you are not networking, you are not making connections. You won't be seen, my friend. Your promotion is solely dependent on somebody else's opinion of you and how you perform. And your manager could hate you as a person because you are a free thinker. You want to elaborate, you want to question stuff. And I will tell you, they don't like people who question stuff. They want people who obey. If you are a very ambitious person and you think for yourself, I'm gonna advance as fast as possible, I'm gonna do a lot of work, put a lot of effort in honing my craft. But if you're not showing your loyalty and refuse to play those political games, your efforts will be valued as fart in the space. Your life is controlled by somebody else, and there's no sign of contentment. And it's a big lie that there's 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of work, 8 hours of free time. It doesn't work like that, because your whole daily schedule revolves around your work. Your whole planning has to be considerate of that event. Imagine it being like an atom, having a core and electrons circulating around that core. That core is being your work. Oh, I better cook some food before I go to work. Oh, I better go to the gym before I go to bed. Oh, I better do my dishes, my laundry. But wait a second, I don't have any groceries, so I better go and buy something, because gains, you know? And gains is love, and gains is life. So there's no compromising that. Besides, many of us are not spending only 8 hours at work. Many people have unpaid 1 hour lunch breaks, as well as commute at least half an hour to your workplace and commute half an hour back to your home. So if you do some minor calculations, you will end up spending 10 to 12 hours and only getting paid for 8 hours. And what concerns your free time, you invested on the home chores, doing stuff that you have to do. There's no time to just sit down, relax, breathe, read a book. There's no time to socialize with family. And I am not talking about friends. Friends? Ha! They can wait till the weekend, because you are busy building somebody else's dreams. That's right, that is the core of employment. I don't mean that all people working for somebody hate what they do, because there are a lot of people who genuinely believe in what they do, believe that they bring value to others. But statistics don't lie. Majority of humans don't like their line of work. And to be honest, it's not about the work per se, it's about the structure of the whole employment system. It's too much routine. You have to be exactly at the same place at the same time every freaking day, Monday to Friday.
We're not robots.
We're not meant to do stuff repetitively unless we love something and want to hone that skill. That's why you won't be able to keep up with something if you don't love it. You have to invest your soul into something in order to get fulfillment from it. So when you get into a rut, it affects your mood, it affects your career advancements, your promotions, and doing the best you can. Even if you don't like a job, you have some kind of an internal pride to make a good performance. Not only you are miserable, but you are not progressing at the desired rate. It messes with your mental health, which translates into your physical health. You're stressed out, your cortisol levels are high, and your body ages much faster. Life is built around this suffering through the weeks. Maybe you throw in some physical activities here and there, but nothing that you keep up with. You do it just to check your boxes. You do it on an autopilot, because you deep down know that it's healthy for you. But you're not fully aware, nor are you present in what you do. Then weekends come around. Maybe you meet some friends, sit down and relax with some alcohol, because you know that you have a couple of days before the rut begins again. Some may get so wasted that they wake up with a headache, feeling melancholic, empty on dopamine and serotonin, because you exhausted your depots during the last night of drinking. Sunday comes around and you feel anxiety, because the rat race begins next upcoming day. Now, I'm not trying to make you anxious about not knowing what you love to do. This should come naturally, and my mission here to give you some perspective, to give you some ideas, to give you some inspiration, to wake up your aspirations. I've said this before, I'm about to do a series on finding your purpose, your passion in life. I need some time and I have a lot on my table, but it's coming, don't worry. Let me know if you like this kind of videos. I want this to be as practical as possible. I want for you to transform your life. I want for you to take care of yourself. I want for you to become joyful. This video is about me planting a seed in your head. Your job is to water it. Hossein out.